Hello, I'm Dr. Emily Ballantyne, and I'm the Acting Director of Teaching and Learning here at MSVU. Generative AI is an awesome tool for personalizing learning, and the main reason why is because you can engage with it in different ways. Some students prefer to talk, so they can talk to the tool and get information and feedback that way. Others would prefer information in writing formats, so you can engage with the tool in different ways, and as you learn what your strengths and weaknesses are, you can spend more time working toward those goals as you are learning. Now, some tools are going to do a better job of preparing you for learning than others, so I would encourage, if you really are using a tool for learning, that you pick a tool that's designed with learning in mind. One of the main advantages of using generative AI to study is that you can personalize your experience as you study. So if you input some of your study notes and materials, you can use the technology to ask different kinds of questions and prepare for different types of assessment. You can also use it to get instant feedback. And while you always need to be careful checking your feedback to make sure that the responses are correct and accurate, it gives you a lot of immediate feedback, immediate responses that will allow you to figure out where you need to focus your attention as you study. Generative AI make things easier or make things harder. And there is research that says that if we over-rely on generative AI, sometimes we don't build up enough of our own skills in areas like retention, in areas like writing and revision. So it's hard to say whether or not generative AI makes things easier or harder because it might mask or hide limits in your own skills. So in particular in the area of research, I would encourage you to always start doing your researching using MSVU supported tools like the library. Start with the library, use good, strong, supported tools as a starting point, and then as you're refining, as you get more confident as a researcher, then consider bringing in tools like generative AI. Over-reliance is one of the things students should be most concerned about. It's a tool, but we don't want generative AI to become a crutch. So if students overuse the tool, they over-rely on it, they may miss out on learning and growing for themselves, but they also might not realize that an AI tool has hallucinated or made a mistake that they are then passing off as their own knowledge. So it's so important when you're engaging with generative AI that you see it as a partner that helps support your learning, but never replaces your knowledge and your expertise. Remember that communication between you as a student and a faculty member is a two-way street. You need to regularly ask good questions about generative AI, and it's your professor's job to give you answers and expectations for a particular class. And when an academic integrity situation emerges, it's going to be because there is a disconnect or a separation between what the professor says they expect for the assignment and what they perceive that you've done as a student. So it's really important that when you use generative AI, you do so in the ways that your professor tells you to. If you are using generative AI incorrectly, while your professor might not use an AI detector, they have their own many years of expertise, both as teachers and as experts in their field, that they will bring to bear when they're assessing your work. And they will proceed with an accusation if they think the claim is warranted. Unfortunately, AI has issues with both accuracy and bias. There are many instances where it produces information that's wrong. We call this a hallucination. And while hallucinations are improving over time, if you're a learner and you're new to a subject, you are not likely to be able to detect the difference between actual factual information and false hallucinated information. So as a student, one of the most important things you can learn in school now is how to be a good fact checker. And that means you need to be able to take a look at what your generative AI tool produces and compare it to other sources, other information. And when you can do that, when you build that skill, you'll be able to feel more confident that the information that generative AI has produced is accurate. But remember, your professors have been studying these subjects for many years, and they will know more quickly than you will when a mistake or hallucination has taken place. Using generative AI is not always plagiarism, but it is plagiarism if you use it incorrectly. What's most important is that you engage in regular conversation with your professor, that you look in the course outline and on your assignment sheets for expectations, and that you follow those. Academic integrity comes down to the way that you present yourself and present your information. For example, did you know that you can cite generative AI? In some instances, you can even take a copy or a link of the chat that you had and share it as part of your work. So there are lots of ways you can use generative AI in a way that supports academic integrity. I would say start by having fun with the tool. Instead of thinking about it first as something that you use for research or for studying, try using it in other contexts. Have a little bit of fun with it and start to learn both what it's good at and what it could use more improvement with. I've said this before, but I'll say it again. If you want to use these tools ethically, you have to be guided by each individual instructor, each class, and each assignment. Some assignments are going to encourage you to use the tools, but many might not. So to be ethical and make the most of the tool, you want to use it in close consultation with your professor.